JT Gatoring here. Alright, big question is, am I using this right? I'll let you know what I found with the research that I did. So I needed a different way to fish from the regular Texas rig Senko that I'm used to using all the time. I'm not having any luck on the topwater frog, and I cannot do the wacky rig because I'm fishing pretty heavy cover, full of lily pads, very thick, and I haven't tried punching yet or some of the other weighted rigs. So I thought a crankbait would be good, just throwing it down the outside of the lily pad line and just bringing it back to the boat, and that way I can see if I can get some of those bigger fish out of there, because where all these lily pads are, it's anywhere from 5 to 10 feet deep. So when I started using this, I only got one fish the first day, and my first question was, am I using this crankbait right? So I did some research for a little, and this is what I found. First off, you always want to mimic the bait that's in the body of water that you're fishing. So keep that in mind when you choose your color. I fish about, on average, 5 to 10 feet deep. So the 5 to 8 foot range is perfect, and that's what these crankbaits are. So a major component with these crankbaits is that you want sporadic movement. You want it like a regular bait fish. Using a thinner bill on your crankbait, like the computer board, helps you achieve this. And when doing my research, I found that the computer board is also harder to break while you're bouncing it off rocks and other things. Another key component to getting some sporadic movement is reeling and then stopping. And as you stop, point that rod tip at the crankbait, and it'll help spin that crankbait around 180 degrees. Another thing to keep in mind that I found while doing my research was that there are also slow float crankbaits. With mine, I would just call them regular, where you throw them out and you reel them, and once you stop, it starts to float pretty quick. So I did find some that were a slow float that float a little slower than what mine do. I also found that you want to replace your hooks. I haven't done it yet. I'm just going to have to learn the hard way, I guess. I haven't had any problems with mine, so I'm not going to replace them yet. So with your line choice, try to go with fluoro. I use braid on all my reels because I fish freshwater and saltwater. So I always have 20 or 30 pound braid on there. So whenever I'm fishing these, I put on a leader, and it's about 6 to 8 feet in length. And make sure that it's fluorocarbon, because fluoro sinks and monofilament floats. And with the fluoro, it helps get that crankbait down deeper to that advertised depth. It also helps to do it quicker. During my research, I also found that a longer rod with a soft tip helps too. That longer rod helps you cast it out further, and that soft tip allows that bait to really get down in the bass's mouth before you set the hook. So my crankbait that's a little bigger, thicker, and has the rattles in it, I had to tune that a lot more than my other one. And what I mean by tuning is that when I first threw it out and I was reeling it back, it would either want to go to the left or to the right. For me, it wanted to go to the left. So what I had to do was bend that eyelet to the right, and that corrected it. Now if I reel it too fast, it still wants to go and shoot out of the water. So what I do is I just keep it at a steady pace. I don't know if I have to tune it more or not, but that's what happens with me. The smaller, thinner one, I can reel that as fast as I want, and it stays at the same depth and it still goes straight. Now the way that I fish these is I just do a constant retrieve back to the boat, and sometimes I'll stop it or twitch it just to give it that erratic motion that you want. I do plan to do an article. I'll go ahead and put it on my website, jtgatoring.com, and I'm going to start doing this with all the baits that I do reviews on, and that way I'll just have a collection of articles where you can go in there and search for Senkos, crankbaits, lipless crankbaits, just things that I do end up doing in the future. Alright, so these two are the crankbaits in the video. This one's a little thicker, this one's a little thinner. This one also has no rattlers, while this one has 2. They both dive 5 to 8 feet deep, and the one in my right hand is a lot skinnier than the one on the left. I've had to tune the one on the left a lot more than the one on the right. They're both made by Rapala, and I haven't changed out my hooks yet, but these are the ones that I bought for it. They seem to be the right size for the one on the right, but they seem a little small for the one that's on the left, so I haven't replaced those yet. This one also came with a different back hook there. And then I do have a few shirts out. This is the first one here. You can go ahead to jtgatoring.com and get them if you want. Help support the channel. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something new. Now, I do have a website, jtgatoring.com. I do have articles there where I plan to put up some information with some of the YouTube videos that I do, like this one, where all my information will be. It'll be in the form of the article, and I'll link where I found all the information at. And this way it'll help people learn a little better because it'll be in writing. Now, you see that little red button down low? Click it if you're feeling good or you like the channel. It gives me confirmation that you, the viewer, enjoy the channel. So please, hit that red subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment if you have any questions, you like it, let me know what you think. And always, see you next time on JT Gatoring.